Well, welcome back to the Undervalued Investor YouTube channel, where today we're taking a look at one cannabis stock that I believe is on a pivotal edge. It's going to be announcing earnings really shortly, and we're going to take a look at the past performance to try and project what could potentially be coming in the future, as I think we're starting to see a turnaround in the MJ cannabis markets, especially here in Canada. And this one is a very diversified portfolio of products. But first and foremost, the company we're looking at is called Avicanna Inc. It trades on the TSE under AVCN and has exploded basically off its summer lows. I mean, from peak to trough, it ran up about 125%, where it's leveled off, being about 68% off those lows, trading for around 40 cents a share, about a $31 million market cap. And as mentioned, by the time you're viewing this video, it's likely they already posted earnings, and it'll be neat to see how the stock performs in contrast. But just kind of breaking down their website, basically, they're driving biopharmaceutical advancements of naturally derived and evidence-based products. And as we read into this, basically, Avicanna has established a scientific platform, including R&D and clinical development, that has led to the commercialization of more than 30 products across 5 market segments, including MyMedi.ca, which is a medical cannabis care portal. They got medical cannabis and wellness products, cosmetic and skincare, pharmaceutical pipeline, and an active pharmaceutical ingredients, or API. And if we scroll down, we get a bit of a view of the idea of this, with 30 plus proprietary commercial products, 10 scientists, 11 Canadian government research grants awarded since 2020, 7 pending patents, and 4 Health Canada cannabis research licenses to Avicanna or institutional collaborators. So this company has had a lot of time to evolve, which we can actually see within their balance sheet based off their June filings. So again, we're getting the Q3, but again, taking a look at that past performance, the company's got about 10 million in current assets, about 11.7 million in non-current, with about 14.4 million in current liabilities and about 2 million in non-current liabilities. So the company has quite a bit more assets than they do have liability when you're combining the current and non-current. So they're in a fairly robust situation from that aspect, as they see an incredible amount of revenue growth year over year. 3 years ago, barely generating 800,000, whereas today they're getting about 3.3 million for the quarter, with a very healthy gross margin, which has also increased fairly nicely from that time in 2021, sitting at about 1.48, just under 1.5 million dollars, which puts them at around that 40%, if I'm just guesstimating their gross margin, which is very healthy. Now they're still operating at a loss that has been improving pretty dramatically here. As we can see, the net comprehensive loss went from 3.5 million to 1.2 million. So it looks like they're on this path to profitability that could be around the corner sooner, which is going to be very great for shareholders that are looking to kind of profit off these market segments. But we can also see the other thing they've improved pretty dramatically here is their total square footage hasn't changed all that much. But what has changed a lot is basically their cost per gram, their dried flower, because we can see the yield hasn't changed that much, but the cost of dried flower went from 0.09 cents basically per gram to 0.05 cents per gram. So it's nice to see that they've been able to improve the efficiency of the current business as well. But you can see there's MyMedi, which is again more focused. This is probably a big segment for them that's focused more toward, the medical side, as they lean into the medical patients, which I want to break down, as we can actually see that within their corporate presentation here, is they have 19,428 active patients. Basically, those between 40 and 69 years of age make up 60% of the total patient group. And although insurance coverage only makes up about 10.5% of the patient pool, these patients make up nearly 65% of the total sales. With weekly, we see between 400 to 500 new medical documents submitted to the platform, and currently there are over 1,500 actively prescribing HCPs and over 57 clinical partners. And I just want to skip through some of this just to give you a deeper idea into basically the globalization. Is Avicanna around the world basically completed sales and exports into 19 different countries, which is very intriguing, because obviously cannabis is regulated very differently depending on the country, and obviously CBD as a pure extract also has different regulatory rules depending on where they're operating. So it's nice they've been able to get this kind of scale, which is really cool. And we can kind of see the different product segments here, from Brazil, Chile, Peru, Portugal, Germany, focusing basically on those API products. But they also have the RHO with the medical wellness operating in Barbados, which is very intriguing. But it's nice to see this company's got a lot of globalization going on. And then finally, As we take a look at the financial and capital overview, again, just to reiterate that basically from Q1 to Q2 of 2023, they saw a 200% revenue growth, which was a huge jump. So this is why it's going to be such a pivotal earnings coming into what we're about to see for Q3. They do have common shares, about 87 million, which are tightly held by insiders and strategic investors. But this was just a general broad overview. I really just wanted to highlight this company for you to give you a very brief idea of this very fast expanding cannabis stock called Avicanna. But I'll pass the question off to you. I'd love to know what you think about this company in that comment section below.